He just wasn't as bad as the other guys. Point of the story was he was not the hero of this movie.
Hey y'all,
What's up, y'all?
I'm Elise,
And I'm Will.
and this is
Team Tatum.
Team Tatum.
Today we are talking about 1973's High Plains Drifter, starring Clint Eastwood.
And directed by.
That's right, forgot about that. So yeah, this is a Western, surprise, surprise, because it's Clint Eastwood.
Surprise, surprise.
Uh,
Surprise, surprise. Thank you.
anyway, I didn't watch Westerns at all until we got married. So any Western I've seen outside of the bits and pieces I saw of Tombstone growing up, like I never saw Tombstone from beginning to end. It was always chunks of it.
Until right booking now.
Kind of came in and out when my mom or my aunts and uncles were watching Gunsmoke and Bonanza. Wasn't my thing. Lone Ranger, all this stuff. Like I knew it all existed. I knew Clint Eastwood was a big deal in the Western community, but just didn't watch him. But she's really into Westerns. And so when we got together, she was like, "You watch all these movie types, but you watch any Westerns?" And I was like, "No, not really." And so she got me down this path, and I'm glad she did, because I really like them. Not all of them. There's been like two where I was like, yeah. Yeah, this is our, I believe, first Western in the list. Anywho, as she already said, directed by Clint Eastwood, and I believe this was his directorial debut. And as far as the premise goes, one knock I do have against Westerns, they pretty much all have the same premise of there's a town that's minding their business that is in trouble with some lowlifes that are pretty much like exploiting them, and a stranger comes into town. He's a gunslinger, he's the fastest they've ever seen, and they're like, "Hey mister, can you save us from these bad people?" And he's like, "What's in it for me?" And then he saves them. Same. You seen it. If you've seen one Western, you've seen them all.
Except in Tombstone, they didn't say what's in it for me. They were like, "We saving these people."
But yeah, so yeah, Clint Eastwood comes into town and helps the people liberate themselves. Basically, that's the premise of the movie. Clint Eastwood in this one is not a good guy. Like usually the drifters are like, I'm a stranger, and what's in it for me? But that's only because they've been looking out for themselves like for a while. They don't have a family, they don't have friends, so it's like, what do I get out of this for putting my life on the line?
Yeah. And then eventually, at some point in the movie, have a change of heart. If they were rough at first,
Yeah.
they at least befriend
Somebody.
He befriended one person.
Did he?
But whatchamacallit?
I
was about to say Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Mordecai.
I was about to call the boy Montgomery. I think he just kind of like sympathized with Mordecai.
Mm-hmm.
But forget Mordecai, man.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, this was not the case in this movie. He was the man dressed in black, and he owned that. He was not a good cat at all.
He was basically one of the bad guys,
Yeah.
except working for the good. Well, they weren't good. Working for the townspeople.
Right. He was like, just because I'm bad guy, don't make me bad guy.
Except this time.
Except he was a bad guy still. He just wasn't as bad as the other guys. Point of the story was he was not the hero of this movie. But doggone it, you had to like him though. He had charm. For me, I was like, look, the man stands on business. He is not playing games out here.
He did stand on business.
He was not playing games out here. So we're getting into spoilers now. So I'm not trying to get into a play-by-play, but this is where the movie really tells you this dude is not your friend. He's not here to save you. So he rolled in the town, minding his business. Probably looking for, as every drifter does, a shot of whiskey. Whenever they come in town, they want a shot of whiskey. Not water, forget hydration. whiskey, and a bath. Usually, top two things. So he goes into the bar. He wants his whiskey
And a glass of beer.
and a glass of beer. He double fisted.
And a bottle of whiskey, not just a
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, he got a bottle of whiskey. What did it cost him?
9 cents, I think.
Like 9 cents? Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I know prices are not the same as it was then, but imagine 9 cents for a bottle of whiskey, even bottom shelf whiskey, and a beer, like a full
glass.
mug of beer. But yeah, he want to drink in peace, and there's always somebody in the town that's got something against outsiders, so they bothering him. And he basically is like, you know what? I don't gotta take this. I'm gonna finish this beer, and then I'm gonna take this bottle of whiskey, and I'm gonna bounce. So he does that, and then goes to the barber shop, and he's like, let me get a cut, and then I want a bath too, because back in the day, the barber was your barber, your dentist, and the bathhouse.
And sometimes the veterinarian.
Yeah, sometimes the vet. And so the dude is shook because this is a small town. There's maybe 20 people in the whole town. Everybody know everybody. And he's like, he's scared. And so he shaking with the blade, and Clint Eastwood is still like, yeah, go ahead and shave me.
Not worried at all about it.
Nah, brother. You know what? Skip the shave. Just give me the bath. You're not about to cut me. But again, he trying to chill. He been on the road on this horse for Lord knows how long. You know what I'm saying? He just want to relax.
Up.
It's probably his first bath in weeks, right? If not a month or something. And the dudes from the bar follow him over to the barbershop. And they like, causing static over there. And he done had enough. And from underneath his little smock, whatever the thing, I don't know what the thing is called that they put over you.
Your bib.
Yeah, your bib or whatever, when he's getting shaved. He shoots this cat between the eyes. So he don't even pull the gun out. He still has it underneath the bib, and you see the hole come out of the bib, and he shoots the dude between the eyes. He dead. He fall back, and then he's like, for you other two, because there's 3 dudes, and he's like, pop, pop, shoots them. Barber bounces. He dips out.
I am trying to be next.
Yeah. And then he's just like, wipes the shaving cream off his face and walks out. And he's like, who gonna check me? Like, they was bothering me. I told them to leave me alone. You know.
And when he shot him, they were about to jump on him. Then it wasn't just like they were like, you ugly, and he shot him.
Yeah, they was about to jump him. So he was justified. Even more so that it was the Wild West. You could do literally anything and get shot, and people be like, should have done it.
What was that we were watching? Silverado. Is that on the list?
No, Silverado went on the list.
They stole the man's horse. He found him, shot him, and killed him.
Yeah.
And they're like, what'd you do that for? He was like, he stole my horse. He was like, prove this your horse. He said, my name is on the bottom of the saddle. They looked, oh, yeah. All right then, see you later.
Fine. Like, as long as this is proof, it's like, oh, well, whatever. So yeah, nobody, the sheriff don't come or nothing. He goes, gets a room at the hotel across the street. But that was just opening first. Oh, and I ain't gonna tell you that part. I'm gonna let you watch that for yourself. But he's not a good guy.
Something happened after he left out of the barbershop that let you know. Oh, because after him going to the barbershop, you like, he was just minding his own business. They came messing with him. He had to do what he had to do. And then immediately,
right when you defend him, he does the next thing, and you're like, oh no, you're just a bad guy.
You are a bad guy.
I mean, they was egging it on, like they was asking for it.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, because he could have shot the first dude and been like, who want to be next?
Yeah, because they were slightly running away.
Yeah.
After he shot the first guy.
He could have been like, see what happened? See what happened? Y'all want this smoke too? All right then, be gone. Let me finish my shave and bath. But yeah, he just smoked them dudes. But yeah, so he basically gets asked after that, like, oh man, this dude is the real deal. He should protect us, because they talked about this group of guys, these 3 guys that were, like I said before, exploiting the town, and they whipped to death the last sheriff. And when I say whipped to death, I mean whipped to death. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody get stomped out before, but imagine somebody getting stomped out, but it's
But
whips.
replace the feet with whips.
Yeah. Replace the kicks with just whipping. I mean, they whipped this dude. That scene was long. And it was like Jesus didn't get whipped that bad. It was like, even though it was drawn out, I was there the whole time. Like, God, I ain't never seen nobody go.
Somebody
help
this
that man.
Isn't anybody gonna help that poor man?
Hush, Harriet. That's a sure way to get him killed.
Oh, help me, help me, help me. Somebody help me, help me, help me, help me. Shut up.
They whipped him for so long. And not just on the back. They whipped him in his face. Just, I mean.
Wherever it hit.
They was everywhere. He was tore up from the floor down. Okay? That's an inside joke. I didn't say that wrong. But yeah. And they've been terrorizing the town ever since. And so he, typical Western thing, teaches them how to shoot and all that, yada, yada, yada. And
gives them a game plan, basically.
gives them a game plan.
How to beat the people.
Yeah. And
also, the guys that whipped the sheriff to death, they're in prison now. They're asking for help because they're about to get out of prison. And they know that they're going to come back to the town because, the town people were the reason that they went to prison.
Right.
So they were like, they're going to come get their revenge. We know it. They've been sending us death threats since they've been in jail. We need somebody to help us. And so that's why they hired him and why he was teaching them how to defend themselves from them when they get there.
I just realized we watched 2 movies back to back on the list with little people in them.
True.
So Mask of the Red Death had Hop Toad, and this movie has Mordecai, which, screw Mordecai.
I liked Mordecai.
He was a little sniveling,
He was a kiss up, but he had to do what he had to do to survive.
When we first meet Mordecai, he's sitting on top of the bar, and when the townspeople are first giving Clint Eastwood static,
he was in on it.
Yeah, he in on it. He, making his little jabs. When we was watching the movie, I was like, Mordecai, you the first person I'm shooting when I decide to shoot somebody while you playing games with me. And yeah, he like he always got something to say in the background all the time. And I was just like, man, I hate this dude.
And then as soon as Clint shot the people at the barbershop, Mordecai come over there to him, gets a cigar, puts it in Clint Eastwood's mouth, and was like, lighting it for him and stuff, like, best friend.
Yeah, he
so
kissed
proud
up to
of
him
you.
super quick. And he's his right hand man
Ever since after that.
Ever since. Like, he finds something to stand up on so he can be, head to head with Clint, and gives him a cigar and lights it for him. And it's always like, basically like, what can I do for you, master? Like, he just I hated that dude. But yeah, Clint gives him the game plan, and long story short, they don't follow that game plan at all. They get murdered immediately.
The biggest fail.
In
giving a town a game plan to beat their enemies.
Right.
Ever made.
The enemies come in. Those 3 dudes come in and wreck
like,
shop. They kill everybody.
I was like, hey. This one guy just got shot in the arm. He was like, put his gun down and left.
Most of them got shot at, like, they didn't even get hit. They were just like, oh, they shooting back, because they were practicing. Wasn't nobody shooting back at them.
Practicing with like dummies and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, as soon as that first bullet came, they were like,
you're shooting back.
They threw the guns off the roof.
Here's the keys to my business.
And the funny part is, he was supposed, like, they hired him so he could protect the town. Once stuff went sideways, which was immediately.
Before they even got there, he left.
Oh, yeah, so he was like, all right, it's about that time. The dude's going to be showing up, and bounced. He was like, I did my part. Also, they were like, wait, is he leaving? To get him to do it, I forgot about this part. They were like, because he was like, nah, I'm not. I just came here for my whiskey, my bath, and I'm out. And they were like, you can have anything in the town. And he takes that to heart. He takes from everybody.
Right.
The most expensive thing they got, he took it.
Multiples at some places.
Right. He was like, I want Mordecai to be the mayor now. Well, to be the sheriff. So he takes the star off the sheriff, gives it to Mordecai.
He was like, you got a problem with that?
Right. And then
What's
Mordecai, being Mordecai's like, yeah, what's up now? I'm the big dog. Or whatever, like she said, he just been a sniveling little rat trying to survive. And now he done got the sheriff badge. Now he talking big stuff. And then Clint even takes the mayor's hat. He's like, he's also the mayor. And that didn't help Mordecai's case, because then his head just got even bigger.
Right.
And so, like, he literally was like, I'm taking everything. Anything I want. But then when the fight happens, or was about to happen, he bounces. He's like, I did my part. I got paid. I'm cool. I'm out.
I hope you were watching during class.
Right. And they were not. And they failed miserably. They died. A lot. Not everybody died. When I say everybody died, I don't mean everybody, but like 90%.
I would say 75%.
I think 90. They left the women alive. There was no children to speak of. Yeah. I just thought about that. There was 0 children in the town. But yeah.
Barely any women.
That's true. Was it 3 women?
1 old woman and 2, I wouldn't say middle age, but not young.
Yeah. Us.
Right. It was like, I wouldn't say middle age.
two us age women.
Not that old now that I think about it. Quite young.
But yeah, as it turns out, you find out that the townspeople set up the sheriff to get killed. They didn't know he's gonna get killed like that.
They knew he was gonna get killed though, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, and they felt bad about it, and so that's why they snitched on the 3 guys, even though they hired them in the first place, and they went to prison. So turns out the townspeople ain't all that great. And Clint comes back once everybody's almost done, and he's like, "Surprise, B! Thought I was gone." Well, the 3 people didn't know nothing about him, and he proceeded to pick them off.
Yeah. One by one.
One by one, and then when it's all said and done, the town is in shambles. Half the town is burnt down. The hotel done got blown up by dynamite, which Clint threw. Clint threw the dynamite that blew up.
But they were trying to kill him. That was a separate story. Some of the townspeople were like, we don't gotta take this. And they tried to kill him in his sleep. But he was hip to the boys. And he tried to kill them.
I've never seen someone casually throw a stick of dynamite before. He was like... and then just tiptoed off like old boy from and the dynamite just blew up.
I will say it took that dynamite too long to blow up for my liking. Like, he could actually kill him if it went off sooner instead of just blowing up the hotel.
There's some pretty long wicks.
Cut it shorter, brother. You can cut dynamite wick. You trying to kill him or you trying to scare him? He must have just been trying to scare him.
A little of both. But he probably wanted them to be a little scared before they died, to know what was happening instead of they just wake up dead. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he kills all 3 guys. And
the bad guys.
Mordecai's left alive. And they mentioned this in the movie that the sheriff is in an unmarked grave at the edge of town. And at the end of the movie, Mordecai is etching his name into the tombstone. And he's like, "Oh yeah, mister, I never got your name," as Clint Eastwood's character is leaving. Also, he doesn't have a name, so very similar to the Man with No Name trilogy. See, I have seen Westerns. I've seen the trilogy, The Man with No Name, the Clint Eastwood movies. He doesn't have a name in this one either. And the guy's like, "I never got your name." He was like, "Yes, you did." And he leaves. And it's alluded to that, we don't believe this, but it's alluded to that he is the sheriff that got killed, but he didn't actually die.
Was that actually from the movie creators that said that though, or just somebody that put it on?
That was like I said, that was alluded to, but Clint himself
is what I'm asking.
Well, like, they don't say nothing in the movie, and people on the internet. It's people on the internet.
Thanks.
But Clint himself was like, he's the brother of that sheriff, and he came back to town. The reason why he was treated them the way he did, well, one of the reasons, and I think he was legitimately a bad guy, but he came back to get revenge for his brothers. He was like, y'all did my brother like this, I'm gonna do you like this. I don't care what happened to y'all, and I'm gonna avenge my brother.
After watching it and looking back on the specific people that he did treat bad in the town, they were all people that were highlighted during the marshal getting killed. So it's like he knew somehow, I don't know how he knew since he wasn't there. And the only people that were there were townspeople and the guys that were in jail. Maybe they talked while they were in jail. I don't know. But all the people that it highlighted, like zoomed in on while he was getting killed, that didn't help. And it turns out that they were the ones that really were the conspirators of it. Those were the specific people that he treated most bad in town. And like when he was taking stuff from their stores, hitting them the hardest and that kind of stuff. So it was a game plan of his all along. Like he had a plan in mind on how he was getting his revenge the whole time, and that's why he left them, because he was like, oh, I'm gonna let some of y'all get killed first.
And he did.
I'm not here to protect y'all at all, actually. I'm just here to kill these fools for killing my brother. And if y'all do help yourselves from the stuff I taught you, you
So
do.
be it.
But that's all I wanted to add on to that.
I think this is a movie you should see before you die, so it does belong on the list. Just because for me, at least for the early time, since it's an older Western, it's one of the most violent Westerns I've ever seen. And it's not a good guy. Like, the main character's a bad guy.
Everybody in the movie is a bad guy.
Really? Yeah. So yeah, that was different. Like, it's usually a hero, or at least like a anti-hero who comes to town, like she said, has a change of heart, and is like, I actually care about these people. He did not care about these people from beginning to end. So yeah, that was different. I had never seen that before in a Western. So that really knocked it up. All the action was great. The unbelievable things that Clint did throughout the movie was highly entertaining, shocking, even a lot of shocking. He's not a good person. Y'all gotta see how not good of a person he is by watching this. It's on Netflix, so you can watch it on Netflix. And I would rate High Plains Drifter 4 out of 5 Cowboy Ninjas.
I also think that this movie deserves to be on the list. And I would rate this a 3.5 Cowboy Ninja out of 5. I said that weird, but 3.5. You got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Alright.
I really like this.
I liked it. I guess I really liked it since I gave it a 3.5.
Really like it's a 4.
liked it
If you made it to
more.
a 4, that'd have been really
Yeah. I liked it a lot. I have liked it a lot, really liked it. So I liked it a lot. And I hated Clint Eastwood in it, and I've never hated him in a movie before, so that was new. But
terrible.
If you have not seen this movie, definitely check it out. As William said, it's on Netflix. So if you have a Netflix subscription or know somebody with one, even though they've hunkered down on that a little bit. Anywho, watch it. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Share this video with your friends and family to get their thoughts on it, or just to help support our channel. And we're almost at 100 subscribers. So if you are not a subscriber and are watching this, please hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Other than that, also give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. And if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs up anyway. Thank you very much. It's a new year. Turn over a new leaf. Give people thumbs up just to support them. It doesn't hurt at all. But anyway, that's enough rambling. Thank you for watching our video. Second movie review of 2024.
We're on a roll, y'all.
And this has been another episode of
Team Tatum.
Peace.
Ow.